Spiritual development and spiritual understanding have been the goals of great minds throughout all of human history. In every culture, society, and civilization, spiritual traditions have emerged and developed spontaneously, often many thousands of miles apart. There seems to be within each person a desire to connect with something higher and greater than themselves. This inner drive seems to arise naturally and normally, often without any guidance or instruction. The great mystics and spiritual teachers of human history are those who have emerged to teach people how they can best satisfy this spiritual craving. The whole issue of spiritual development is complex and controversial. Each person who believes in a faith or a denomination is usually convinced that his or her ideas about God or a higher power are correct, and all others are wrong or misguided to some degree. The most terrible wars in human history have been religious wars fought over small differences in dogma, doctrine, or interpretation. Since most religions preach that God is a God of love, compassion, and understanding, it's sometimes amazing to look at what has been done and what continues to be done in the name of God. I've studied spiritual traditions for more than 30 years. I very much believe that spiritual development is the highest and most important form of development that a person can pursue. Rightly understood, spiritual development is the key to peace, prosperity, happiness, and personal fulfillment. About 325 BC, the philosopher Aristotle wrote his Nicomachean Ethics, one of history's finest explanations of the human condition. He begins with the observation that the common denominator of mankind is the desire to be happy. He concludes that the question of how to achieve this happiness is the fundamental question of philosophy. In 1895, Sigmund Freud of Vienna introduced his theory of psychoanalysis. His fundamental conclusion followed directly from Aristotle more than 3,000 years before. He called it the pleasure principle. Freud taught that human beings are motivated to move toward pleasure and to avoid pain, to move toward comfort and away from discomfort, whether it's physical, emotional, financial, or of any other kind. Modern economists and psychologists agree that every human action is stimulated by a felt dissatisfaction of some kind. Without this felt dissatisfaction, no action takes place. The individual remains content and satisfied. The primary driving forces of human behavior begin with discontent, dissatisfaction, discomfort, or unhappiness of some kind. Action takes place when the individual perceives a better state or condition where this unhappiness or discontent can be relieved. The individual then acts to achieve this goal. The action is either successful or unsuccessful, but all human behavior, from the beginning of man to today, is aimed at achieving a higher level of happiness than the one that currently exists. The highest human good is, and always has been, peace of mind. In fact, you can measure the success of your life at any given time by your level of happiness and peace of mind, by how good you feel about yourself and your world. Peace of mind is only possible when you feel completely satisfied and content inside. Peace of mind comes when you follow your intuition, your inner voice, and you do and say the things that feel exactly right for you. Now, no one can determine what will make another person happy because each person is unique. Each person has different needs and desires and is motivated by different goals and results. Each of us can only decide for ourselves what makes us happy personally, and each of us can only decide what makes us happy by listening to our inner voice and then by following its guidance and direction. In spiritual development, there are a series of simple principles that all religious traditions seem to have in common. The first principle is that there is a God who loves us, who knows us, who understands us, and who wants the very best for us. Some people refer to this as the God mind, the oversoul, universal intelligence, or the creative power. It doesn't really matter what it's called, even if it's just called nature. It is a comforting thought, though, to believe and accept that there is a great power in the universe that we can turn to, that desires our good, and that will guide us to always doing and saying the right things if we will, but listen to the voice within us. Intuition is one of the greatest gifts of mankind. Every great thinker has been amazed at this wonderful power. And the more you listen to your intuition, the better and the more accurate it becomes. The more you listen to your inner voice, the louder and clearer it becomes in guiding you to make the right decisions in each area of your life. One of the great spiritual practices is that of solitude and contemplation. Most people have never tried the practice of solitude in their entire lives, yet it is an extraordinarily positive experience. The French writer Blaise Pascal wrote, "Almost all the problems of mankind arise from the inability to be alone with oneself in a room for any period of time. If ever you desire an answer to any question in your life, a solution to any dilemma, the resolution to any difficulty, practice solitude. Go and sit quietly by yourself with no noise or distractions for 60 minutes. It's been said that men and women begin to become great when they begin to spend time alone with themselves, listening to their inner voices. During this period of solitude, your mind will clear like silt clears in a bucket of muddy water. After about 30 minutes of quiet contemplation, you will feel calm and relaxed. You will feel happy and peaceful. You will feel at one with the universe. And then, at a certain moment, as you sit there, ideas and insights will begin to flow through your mind. Whatever your current situation or dilemma, the right answer for you will come to you at exactly the right time, in exactly the right form. When you arise from your period of solitude and take action on that answer, you will find that it is exactly the right thing for you to do. This is the height of spiritual perception and spiritual connection. The second principle that all the spiritual traditions have in common is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Someone once wrote that there may be a better principle for human living than the golden rule, but no one has yet discovered it. The great truths of life are simple. It's amazing how many problems, both personal and social, that could be resolved if everyone decided to treat other people the way they would like to be treated. Listen to people the way you would like to be listened to. Sell your products and services the way you would like others to sell their products and services to you. Be courteous and respectful to other people the same way you would like them to be courteous and respectful to you. Be patient and understanding with people when they make mistakes, the same way you would like them to be patient and understanding with you when you make mistakes. The third principle, common to all religious traditions, was best articulated by Immanuel Kant, the Dutch philosopher. He called it the universal maxim. He said, live your life as though your every act were to become a universal law. This is an amazing idea. Imagine if everyone lived and behaved as if everyone else was going to do exactly what he or she did. Imagine that everyone was going to treat everybody else exactly the way you treat them. This universal maxim is a tremendous discipline and guide for individual behavior. It harms no one and it helps everyone. It requires perfect truthfulness, honesty, and justice. The universal maxim requires that we treat everyone alike. Living by the universal maxim requires the utmost of spiritual and personal discipline from ourselves. Here are 4 questions that you can ask and answer for yourself on a regular basis. They help you to incorporate the universal maxim into your life. The first question is, what kind of a world would my world be if everyone in it were just like me? Most of the problems in the world today could be solved if everyone could say that this would be a better world if everyone behaved as they do. The second question is, what kind of a country would my country be if everyone in it were just like me? Most of our social and political problems are a direct result of the refusal of people to ask this question about themselves, about others, and about our country. The third question is, what kind of a company would my company be if everyone in it was just like me? This is one of the best questions for creating a terrific place to work. The more people there are in a company who can answer this question positively, the better company it becomes in every way. The final question is this: what kind of a family would my family be if everyone in it was just like me? Imagine if everyone in your family treated everyone else in your family the way you treat everyone else in your family. What kind of a family would it be? When a book proposal is accepted by the publisher, but the final manuscript has not yet been submitted, it is called a work in progress. In the same sense, each one of us is a work in progress. Each of us has a long way to go. Each of us has ample room for improvement. there are many things that each of us can do to become better human beings and better members of our societies. Asking ourselves these 4 questions regularly gives us guidance and insights into the specific changes and improvements we can make in ourselves. What are your values with regard to spiritual development? Do you believe in the values of peace, joy, love, compassion, forgiveness, self-control, faith, hope, happiness, and personal fulfillment? Select the values that you consider to be the most important. Organize your values by priority from what is more important all the way through to what is least important. Put an X on your most important value and then begin to think about how you could express this value more often in your words and actions. Discipline yourself to live in harmony with your most important spiritual value. Whenever you slip, catch yourself and begin living and behaving by this value. Once again, in time, you will program this value into your subconscious mind. You will instill this value as a permanent part of your personality. You will actually transform your own character. You will become a finer and better person in every sense of the word. Now, what is your vision for yourself and your life if you had complete peace of mind? If your inner life was perfect in every way and you were completely happy and fulfilled, how would you be living your life? Think back over the happiest moments of your life. Think about the times when you felt the greatest joy and inner peace. What was going on at that time? Who were you with? What were you doing? What have been your most joyous experiences in life? What could you do to create a situation where you could enjoy more of those happy experiences in the year ahead? What should your focal point be? What one change or decision could you make that would move you more rapidly to a higher level of spiritual and inner development, toward a higher level of happiness and peace? Practice zero-based thinking. Look at your life and ask yourself if there is anything that you are doing that, knowing what you now know, you wouldn't get into again today. Is there any relationship, personal or business, that you wouldn't get into again today if you had to do it over? Is there any part of your business, any product or service or process or activity that you wouldn't start up again today, knowing what you now know? Is there any investment or drain on your time, your emotion, or your energy or money that you would not get into again today if you had to do it over, knowing what you now know? Sometimes the decision to stop doing something that is no longer a source of joy or happiness in your life can bring you more peace and satisfaction than anything else. And you always know what it is. The only question is whether or not you have the courage and character to take the action that you know you need to take. What are your goals for spiritual and inner development? What specific measurable steps can you take to achieve higher levels of happiness and personal satisfaction? What can you do today to eliminate the people, forces, and influences in your life that are disrupting your happiness and peace of mind? Remember that there are only 4 ways to bring about the changes you desire. You can do more of some things, or you can do less of others. You can start doing something, or you can stop doing something else altogether. Which is it to be next? What habits and behaviors do you need to develop to become a happier person and to enjoy greater peace of mind in everything you do? Many people develop the habit of reading spiritually each morning and thinking about how they can practice what they read during the day. Others develop the habit of daily solitude. Some develop the habit of attending a church that they enjoy on a regular basis. One spiritual habit is to donate your time to working with people who are less fortunate than you are. Spending time with other spiritually developed people is another great habit that helps you to develop spiritually as well. The daily activities that you could begin practicing to increase your levels of spiritual development and inner peace. Whatever you do, anything that you repeat over and over again will eventually become a new habit. What are the specific activities that you would like to develop into habits? Finally, make a specific action commitment. Decide upon one step that you are going to take today to begin moving toward higher levels of spiritual development and peace of mind. Either get in or get out. Either start doing something or stop doing something else. Make a decision of some kind and then take action on your decision. Determine your focal point. Put an X on the one decision or activity that can have the most immediate positive impact on your level of personal happiness and inner joy. Whatever it is, just do it. Perhaps the most important spiritual principle of all is for you to develop an unshakable trust in the universe and in goodness of God or of a higher power. Look for the good in every situation. Look for something beneficial that you can gain from every setback or difficulty. Have complete confidence and faith that everything that is happening to you is happening for a good reason, however it appears at the moment. The reason is usually to help you to be more successful and happy in the future. Norman Vincent Peale used to say, when God wants to send you a gift, he wraps it up in a problem. The bigger the gift that God wants to send you, the bigger the problem he wraps it up in. In hundreds of interviews for the most successful men and women of the age, the researchers found that they all had a single thinking quality in common. They all believed that within every difficulty and problem they faced, there was something good or helpful that they could benefit from. Look for the valuable lesson in every difficulty. Have complete faith that there is a divine intelligence that cares about you and which is guiding your path every step of the way. When you begin practicing this way of thinking, you'll be amazed at the wonderful things that will happen in your life. One of the great spiritual principles is for you to identify the biggest single problem in your life today. What is it? Then look into that problem and imagine that it has been sent to you at this moment to teach you something that you need to know. Imagine that this problem has been artfully constructed to contain one or more valuable lessons that you absolutely need to learn to move to the next level of success and happiness in your life. All great men and women are men and women of faith. They have complete confidence that everything is unfolding for their good, even if they cannot see it at the moment. They believe that every setback has a benefit or opportunity hidden within it. They have complete faith that everything is happening as it should, and that in the end, everything will turn out well, and they are seldom disappointed. Spiritual development and peace of mind are the highest of all human goods and benefits. Spiritual development enhances your life and fills you with joy and satisfaction. It makes you happy. It gives you tremendous pleasure. Best of all, it is available to you and to everyone at no cost. Developing spiritually and enjoying peace of mind simply requires that you live in truth with yourself and with everyone around you. Spiritual development requires that you trust in the universe to guide and direct your path. Spiritual development requires that you take time each day to sit quietly by yourself and to listen for the still small voice within. Spiritual development requires that you follow the guidance of your intuition and believe absolutely that everything is working out for the best. When you begin to live in truth with yourself and others and trust your inner voice, you will probably never make another mistake. You will make your life into something truly wonderful and inspiring, and it's completely up to you. Now, let's wrap up with 7 rules for success in the 21st century. These are some of the most important ideas I have learned in more than 30 years of studying successful people. Rule number 1. Your life only gets better when you get better. Your outer world will always be a reflection of your inner world. If you want to improve the quality of your outer world, you must go to work on yourself. And since there's no limit on how much better you can get, there's no limit to how much better you can make your life. Rule number 2 for the 21st century, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. All that really matters is where you're going. Never allow yourself to be slowed down or held back by events that have occurred in your past. Learn from them and let them go. Resolve to keep yourself focused on the future and where you're going most of the time. And since your future is only limited by your imagination, there are no limits to what you can achieve in the months and years ahead. Rule number 3, anything worth doing well is worth doing poorly at first. Remember, everything is hard before it's easy. A primary reason that people do not realize their full potentials is that they try something new, and when it doesn't work perfectly the first time, they quit and go back to their old lower level of performance. Anything worth doing well is worth doing poorly at first, and it's often worth doing poorly several times until you master it. Rule number 4, you are only as free as your options, the well-developed alternatives you have available to you. One of the greatest human goods is personal freedom, and your freedom is largely determined by your choices. The more options you have, the greater freedom and self-confidence you have. You should be continually developing new options throughout your career. Never hang all of your hopes for success on a single possibility. Rule number 5. Within every problem or difficulty you experience, there is the seed of an equal or greater advantage or benefit. Look for the good in every problem. Look for the valuable lesson in every adversity or setback. Look for something that you can gain from every difficulty, and you will always find it. Rule number 6. You can learn anything you need to learn to achieve any goal you can set for yourself. You are designed by nature to be a learning organism. Anything that anyone else has learned, within reason, you can learn as well. You can acquire any kind of knowledge and develop any skill that you need to rise to the top of your field. And finally, rule number 7. The only real limits on what you can do or be are the limits you accept in your own mind. As Shakespeare said, nothing is but thinking makes it so. Henry Ford said, if you believe you can do a thing or you believe you cannot, in either case, you're probably right. You have within you right now all the talents and abilities you could ever want or need to achieve any goal or dream you can set for yourself. The only question you ever have to ask is, how badly do you want it? If you want anything badly enough and you're willing to persist long enough, nothing can stop you from eventually achieving it. Good luck. If you enjoyed this program from Master Motivator and Success Coach Brian Tracy, you are probably the type of high achiever that would benefit from Brian Tracy's personal success coaching program. This one-on-one coaching program is unlike any self-development tool ever offered. Imagine spending 12 weeks with your own coach who has been personally trained by Brian Tracy. Your coach will aid you in building your life strategies, guiding you as you take action steps toward making your greatest desires a reality. If you are like many, you often set goals, but sometimes lack the motivation to carry them through. With the ongoing nurturing and guidance of your personal coach and this outstanding program, you will be accountable for the changes you want to make in your life, and you'll soon see those changes becoming a reality. Created exclusively for Nightingale Connect by Brian Tracy, this program has had massive life-changing results on those who have committed themselves to it. It consists of a minimum of 12 weeks of 30-minute one-on-one telecoaching sessions with a trained personal coach. Accompanying the program are 12 cassette tapes, one for each week of study, along with a guidebook. This extraordinary program focuses on every aspect of your life and helps integrate and balance your life success skills along with your business growth. Brian Tracy's personal success coaching program offers you guidance in the areas of strategic planning, intelligence, health and fitness, power, career success, time management, financial planning, life success, relationships, goal setting, leadership, and building character. Your life will magically transform as you turn your conceptualized thoughts into active steps toward achieving your goals. Brian Tracy's personal success coaching program is one of the most comprehensive, powerful self-development programs to date and is designed to fit your goals, dreams, and desires both personally and professionally. Act now today and call in to receive further information and your free personal success profile with one of our trained personal development representatives. Designed with Brian Tracy, this profile will identify your strengths and pinpoint your growth opportunities. We offer this analysis to you at no cost and no obligation, so don't delay. To register for this outstanding coaching program or to receive your free personal success profile, call Nightingale Connect now at this number, 1-877-297-9799. That's 1-877-297-9799. And ask for Brian Tracy's personal success coaching profile. It's one phone call that could change your life.
you.